Good morning, everyone. We are live. This is Josh Goldstein coming at you, your favorite immigration lawyer. How's everybody doing out there? Today, we are talking about what to do if your immigration case is stuck with USCIS. If your case is stuck with USCIS, you have a big problem. Let's talk about that. So, before we get started, I just want to take a moment to introduce myself. My name is Josh Goldstein. I'm your favorite immigration lawyer. I'm an immigration lawyer that really cares about helping you reach your immigration goal. Whether it's a green card, citizenship, a visitor visa, student visa, no matter what it is, I want to see you succeed and have a better life. And that's what I'm here to do. So, let's talk about the topic at hand. If USCIS has your case stuck, you have a problem. So let's go through the different scenarios and I can tell you what to do in each particular type of case. So if your case is stuck at USCIS and you have a naturalization application, for citizenship, you're trying to get your citizenship, then there are two scenarios. One, you're waiting for your interview. If you're waiting for your interview and it's been a really long time, I'm talking about like 2 years, and they just haven't gotten around to interviewing you, you can go to court and you can sue them. You can file a writ of mandamus lawsuit to challenge the delay, and this will help you, and they'll force them to schedule your interview. If you already have an interview and 120 days has passed since your interview, then you have the easiest type of case to challenge because there's a special law, and USCIS doesn't want you to know about this. There's a special law that they do that requires them to make a decision within 120 days. And if you haven't done that, if they haven't given you a decision within 120 days, then you can sue them and get your case approved. I'm going to stop for a moment and take a few questions. We have Adham Morad. He says, "Hey, Jim." I'm not Jim. I'm Josh Goldstein. He says, "Our first case got revoked in a second I-130. Was the beneficiary ever in proceedings? Yes or no?" I'm not sure what your question is. Let me know. Antia Kelly, my son has a visa interview. It's been stuck for 9 years. Please contact us. If you're stuck for 9 years, that hurts my soul, and I want to help. So there's that. So we're back to talking about USCIS processing delays. And this is what I want you to know. So let's talk about the green card. You go to get your green card interview, and they don't give you a decision. What do? Well, if you have an interview for your green card and they don't interview you, what they're doing is they're checking to see whether your marriage is fake. They're checking to see whether your marriage is fake. So you should know that. You should know that. But anyway, the solution is to file a writ of mandamus lawsuit. If like a year has gone by and they haven't interviewed you, that's what you should do. And I think that would help. That would do it. But let's say that you have another type of case. Let's say your work permit was delayed. If your work permit was delayed, you can also file a lawsuit. We file lawsuits to help waivers that are not processed. But I think what we should talk about for a moment are visa petitions. If you file for a visa petition and USCIS doesn't make a decision, what do you do in that situation? Well, a visa petition, an I-130, an I-730, something like this, if that isn't approved, then what you do is you go to court and you file a lawsuit. But you have to understand the way this works. Once you file a lawsuit, okay, you file the lawsuit, USCIS is going to send your case after it's approved to the National Visa Center. That's how it's going to work. So let me know if you have questions. Let me know. Got to drink some water. Lots of water. A liter a day. More. So I'm going to pause for a moment. If you don't know me, I'm Josh Goldstein. I'm your favorite immigration lawyer, and I'm here to help. And I'm also here to answer questions. We have Sayeda Gilani. She says, I have an appointment, but you didn't call. Okay. Well, if you post your email in the comments, I can have my team reach out to you. I'm sorry that that we didn't call you. A lot of times there's a mix up because we're dealing with people who are in different time zones, and we don't always get it right. So forgive me. Let me know what questions you have. Let me know. Let me know. All right. We're going to go to our friends on TikTok and answer a few questions. Here's Nil Altoy. What's your name? Nil. Let's see. Here we go. Nil Alatoy Ankara 8. Please, my RFE for I-45 marriage green card is only for medicals. What's next? Okay, I have good news for you, my friend. What's next is you're going to get approved. How do I know you're going to get approved? I haven't even reviewed your case. Well, why else would they ask you for the medical exam? If they ask you for the medical exam, it probably means they're going to issue your green card. I can't congratulate you yet, but I am going to virtually give you a bottle of champagne. The cork is in there. I don't want you to take the cork out and celebrate just yet, but I think you got it. Of course, there's all sorts of things that could go sideways, and you never want to celebrate until the green card's in your hand. So there's that. Okay. Now, we have Marie Essengo, our friend from YouTube. Lovely picture. She says, can you explain the mandamus process? I am renewing my visa. I got 221G for a student visa. How long does it take to file the lawsuit? Okay. Well, first of all, Marie, I'm very sorry that you're in 221G. Let me explain and give you the background of how it works and what you need to do. So you're a student. You're an international student. You're in the US. You're getting your PhD or your undergrad or whatever it is, and your visa's expired. You have to go home for a wedding or to visit a family member or whatever the case may be. You go back and you're like, oh, well, I need to renew my visa. So you book an appointment at the consulate. You're not paying. You're not that concerned. You're just going to the visa and you go in to get your visa. You're renewed, but instead of renewing the visa, what do? Well, they say, sorry, your visa is refused. 221G. They told you you're in administrative processing. They don't tell you how long it's going to take. They don't tell you what they're checking. They don't tell you why you're in administrative processing. All you know is you're stuck. And meanwhile, school is starting. You have an apartment. You have a whole life in the US. And the student visa is your ticket to a life in the US or an educational opportunity that's very important to you. And you keep waiting and you keep waiting and you keep waiting. And then all of a sudden you start realizing that nothing's happening and you're getting more and more frustrated as you see your scholarship, your opportunity slipping away. At this point, you come to the conclusion that I have and that many other of my clients have, which is that waiting only leads to more waiting. Waiting only leads to more waiting, and waiting is not going to solve your problem. At that point, you say, God damn it, I'm going to file a mandamus lawsuit. And where's that guy from TikTok or YouTube? Josh Goldstein's my guy. I'm going to do it. So we go to court, we file the lawsuit. It takes us about 2 to 3 weeks to prepare and file the lawsuit. After we file the lawsuit, for the first 2 months, typically we don't hear anything back. Some people get approved within 2 months, but not everyone does. And then the magic happens in the 3rd and 4th month. Usually around month 3, you should see some result. Of course, everyone's case is different, and some people get approved faster than others. But that's what I expect to see. Now, I don't know anything about your case. Maybe the reason you're delayed is there's some serious criminal case or Some, you got arrested for shoplifting. I'm just making this up in general. There could be a reason, but I doubt it. Most of the time, the reason is that the consulate is just not doing its job. Um, we are getting ready today to file a lawsuit against USCIS for the delay of an asylum case. This asylum case has been pending for about 4 months. And I'm getting ready to make a TikTok video or YouTube video on that. It's very, very frustrating. I'm going to take more questions from more people. Let me know what your question is below. Here's Kazuko. Wife's social name different than her birth certificate. What should I do? She has used different name on I-130. Very, very important. So when you fill out the I-130 and the I-45 and the other applications, there is a section, a very important question, and it says, have you ever used any other names? So my name on my birth certificate and on my passport is Joshua Goldstein, but people call me Josh. So if I were filling the form myself, if it says, have you ever used any other names? I would say, yes, Josh is my other name, and I think that's what your wife should do. If your wife used a different name on her social or in some other capacity, just put it on the put it on the put it on there. Let's see here. All right. I just tried to use a lead form on TikTok. So if you want help or have questions and need help from me and my team, hopefully there's a way to do that on here. I'm not that tech savvy, so fill out that short form and we can give you some updates and get back to you. Let us know. Here's Leslie Hill. Hi, Josh. Can we work as a 1099 worker to prove income to petition someone, or do we need a W-2 worker to qualify for a fiance visa? Okay, so Leslie, first of all, if you're thinking about the fiance visa, I want to congratulate you on getting engaged to get married. That is awesome news. I'm so happy for you. That's beautiful. Secondly, to answer your question, it doesn't matter how you work. What matters is your adjusted gross income on your tax return. So if you're a 1099 worker, or you have your own business, or you won the lottery, or you have whatever the case may be, income is income. Might quite matter how you do it. It has to do with your income as reflected on your W-2 for your most recent tax year. Kanan on TikTok says, can you pick up my stream call? I don't know what a stream call is, so I'm sorry. Forgive me. I know a lot about immigration, but I'm not a genius when it comes to technology. Hadair on YouTube says 221G for additional documents from Islamabad embassy. I'm not sure what your question is, but let me speak on that for a few minutes. First of all, 221G, what it means is that, first of all, you went to your visa interview, okay? You finished the interview, and they're not giving you a decision. And if they ask you for additional documents, then they should review those documents and make a decision, right? The problem is that you send them the documents and nothing happens. You keep waiting and waiting and waiting. And that's so frustrating. I can tell you at least one good thing, Hadair, about that. If you got an interview from Islamabad, you're doing way better than many of my clients, because many people can't even get the interview in Islamabad because they just never get around to interviewing people. So what do you do? Well, you should wait for 6 months from when you submitted the documents. If you don't have your visa within 6 months of when you submitted those documents, then you need to get in touch with me and my team, and we will go to court and we'll sue the consulate in Islamabad. We filed thousands of lawsuits, and we can help you do this. Let me know. Let's take some questions from Instagram. Smith Patel 09, immigration visa man, applicant before travel death. I revoked by immigration officer. Can I apply for humanitarian request? I don't quite understand your question. Forgive me. Here's a question from Rasha Ziki. My dad's immigrant visa was stuck in Montreal, Canada after 2 years of interviews, and they asked about a new medical and new Canadian police certificate 2 times. Can we file a mandamus lawsuit? 100% yes. 100% yes. You can file one. You should file one. It would be our pleasure to help you get your father the visa that he should have gotten 2 years ago. But the best time to file it would be now. Okay? That would be now. How Oska says, how can I reach out to you guys? There is a link in our bio where you can book an appointment with our team. We have my phone number, my email in the bio. So in my bio, there's many different ways to contact us. But we would love to do that. For all 221G, you need to wait 6 months. First of all, nobody should have to wait in 221G. But what we're talking about is, how long do we think you need to wait before we're willing to file a mandamus lawsuit? The basis of a lawsuit, a mandamus lawsuit, is there's been an unreasonable delay. You follow me? And a delay is unreasonable. What makes a delay reasonable or unreasonable is a subject of a lot of litigation. And what I think is unreasonable is different than what a judge might think. But by and large, what I want to do is we don't file cases until someone has been delayed for 4 to 6 months. Ahmed, we contacted you through email. We got a response back from Mateus. Is he your team guy? Yeah, Mati is our man. He is our director of client engagement, and he can help you out. So you're in good hands with him. Here's Rahel. You filed a mandamus lawsuit for my husband on Monday. That's awesome. It's great to see you here. Great to have a client here. I think he will get his visa soon. I sure hope so. The favorite part of my job, the best part of my job as an immigration lawyer, is calling people and letting them know, hey, I got news for you. You got approved. And it's so gratifying, and it fills me really, it makes me thankful that I have the ability to help people, good people who shouldn't need my help to begin with, but nevertheless, they do, and we solve this problem. So we have people here. Let's see what other questions we have. What do you think about Kenya Shin immigration? Can viewers come with you, interact? It pushes your engagement. Yeah, I love that. Yes. Here's a question from, let's see, this question here is a good one. Here is Ganer Khan one time. Are you a squash fan? Because your name is the greatest squash player ever, Ganer Khan, or Ganjir, or Gancher. Anyway, what's the most DS 5535 can take? Been stuck for 4 months at the Islamabad embassy in K1. So 4 months is a long time, but we've seen people stuck for years, unfortunately. It doesn't mean you were named after the great Ganer Khan. I am an avid squash player. I have many Pakistani friends. You were named after a great man. He was, I think, the best squash player ever, arguably. So beautifully moving. And actually, I think he's quite ill now. I think he has something wrong with him. But anyway, he's a great hero for squash. Pakistan was the king of squash, and now I think they're playing cricket. And now the king of squash is Egypt. Pakistan is done with squash, and now it's Egypt's turn. And I'm an avid squash player myself. That's why I have a connection with Pakistan and so on. Let's see. To expedite an I-130, here's a question from Shahzab. To expedite an I-130 consular processing, in what situations can we expedite to get the spouse ASAP? So first of all, I don't think that expedite requests are effective. I don't think that it's likely that you can file an expedite request and it's going to solve your problem. Most of the work that I do as a content creator and as a lawyer are focused around using mandamus lawsuits to challenge delays. If I thought that I could, help you get approved by doing expedite requests, then I wouldn't file lawsuits. We have Adnan Marab, who says Noor al-Shabini is a friend of mine. She's the best squash player in the history of squash. And I am friends with her cousin, Mohammed el-Sharbini, who is also a top 40 PSA player. I am an avid squash player, so I know I've helped squash pros and coaches with immigration issues, and many of my clients are from Egypt and England. They want to come to America and coach where people can make a lot of money here because squash is lucrative here. But I'm getting away from this. Obad 0825. My wife's case is stuck in APs for 6 months. Is 6 months enough to file a lawsuit? Absolutely. You better believe it is. I would file a lawsuit all day long for that. Don't wait one day more. Don't wait one day more. Regardless of where you're located, we can help you out and would love to. Thank you for that question from Instagram. Here's Kellyanne Davey. How long can I wait before seeking your help? My case is in administrative processing 6 months now. How much longer? You don't have to wait anymore. 6 months is plenty. Contact us immediately. We would love to help you. And by the way, the time frame that I'm mentioning, how long people have to wait, we file thousands of these cases. So we have a very good feel for what works and what doesn't. And if we tell you we can't take your case yet, it's because we don't believe that it's likely to be successful. Because the last thing in the world that we would want is for someone to hire us and pay us good money to file a mandamus lawsuit and then have a disappointing result. Most people who hire us, most people have already had a lawyer. And most people who've already had a lawyer have had a very disappointing experience with that lawyer. So we get it. And we don't want to be, we want to be different. We want to be effective. So Kellyanne says the case was sent back to NVC. Can you still help? What kind of case was it, Kellyanne? Was it a fiance visa? Let me know in the comments below. What type of immigration is anyone out here applying for naturalization? Let me know in the comments below. Does priority date matter when you're filing a lawsuit? Yes. Immigration visa. What type of immigration visa though? Is it a marriage-based visa? Is it a fiance visa? Because if it's a fiance visa and it was sent back to the NVC, then the case is done. It's denied. Your husband filed for you. Okay. If your husband filed for you and your case was sent back to the NVC, that probably means that the consulate did not believe that your marriage was based on a relationship that's genuine. So that could be an issue. But we could take your case, but it's a little tricky because you're going to get a notice of intent to revoke. And so the lawsuit would generate a notice of intent to revoke, which is a nasty letter that USCIS sends you where they outline all the reasons why they plan to deny your case. And you have a chance to respond. Here we have somebody on TikTok who says Somalia visa. We have so many Somali clients lately. I love that. Does your office do B2 visas for Honduras? We don't do B2 visas. We help people. We don't help with visitor visas. What we do is we help people whose visitor visas are delayed, but we don't help prepare visitor visas. It's just one of the many things that we don't do. Anyone? Are there any Somalis watching today? If so, leave it in the comments below. I'd love to hear that. My favorite word in Somali, mahadsanid, which means thank you. If you're going to know one word, it should probably be thank you. That would be a good word. Salamat. That's Tagalog. Here's a question from Miss Arab. Hi, Joshua. I have an I-130P3 pending for 215 days, listed as processing time 75 to 90 days. I requested service a couple times. Case was received. What should I do next? You have two choices at this point. One is you can keep waiting and hope that they'll get to processing your case. And the second thing you can do is you could file a mandamus lawsuit. And I think that your case is eligible for a lawsuit at this time. We have, there we go. So we have Somali people in the house. We have some Filipinas. My wife is Filipina. So that's great. As an immigration lawyer, one of the things I love about my job is connecting with people from all over the world. And I love all people, and it's just a beautiful thing. But to get back to your question, Morocco, I spent some time in Morocco. It's a beautiful country with lovely food. Here's a question from Bakamat Tiwari. I sent my medical RFE for I-45 2 months ago. Now response time has passed. What should I expect? If you sent an RFE for a medical exam, I expect you're going to get a green card, that they're going to print the green card. Yeah, it should be. Here's King David on TikTok. I am Somali and I have a few things to discuss. Please give me a chance to talk and ask direct. Well, put yourself in the comments below. I had someone on TikTok who I admitted into my live stream, and it got weird and inappropriate. And I mean, I kind of laugh about the things that happened, but I can't do that. But if you put some things in the comments below, I would. Here's a question from Soccer Edits. Can you waive fraud? Maybe. Yes, there's a waiver for fraud. So yes. Kellyanne Davy. Should I wait for them to deny, or could you help us? There are a couple things I can do to help you if your visa was sent to USCIS or to the NVC. The first is we could do a mandamus lawsuit, which would essentially generate a notice of intent to revoke. The second thing we could do is we could help you respond to the notice of intent to revoke, and then we could help you try to get the visa issued. Here's a question. How long does it take to file for your sibling? Well, to answer your question, it doesn't take long at all. Like, we could fill out the form within a week or two and submit it, and then you would have a petition for your brother or your sister. The problem is the processing time for a sibling petition is very, very long. Very long. I mean, 10 years or more. Here's a question from someone. What are your thoughts on the murder of a 22-year-old Georgia nursing student murdered by an illegal? Would you be responsible for her death if you helped a criminal get a green card? I'm serious. Um, well, I think the murder that the story that I read in the newspaper was horrible. It was tragic, and I'm sorry for that, but I don't take any responsibility. I haven't helped anyone who's a criminal. There are plenty of criminals here in the U.S. Um, are the American people responsible for the criminal attacks of other Americans? I don't think so. Here's a question, Josh. Can a case be filed online? Do I need an attorney or can I do it myself? So I'll take those one at a time. Certain types of immigration cases can be filed online. Okay. And secondly, do I need an attorney or can I do it myself? Well, I provide services to my clients, and many people do their own immigration cases. Um, how important is your immigration case to you and to your life and to your loved ones? Do you want do you do you want this done well and handled by an expert? Are you in a financial position to hire a lawyer? These are some questions to consider. But I see people ruining their lives when they make mistakes that could have been avoided if they had had professional legal services. Um, Here's someone Facebook here. I'm not sure if you answered my question. Well, could you repost? Here's one. We are IR5. Our priority date is March 2022. We're stuck in AP since August of 2023. Do you think we have a good chance to win if we file a lawsuit? Yes, I do. I absolutely do. I would like to know more about the hardship. How is this impacting your life? But yes, I think this would be a good case for a mandamus lawsuit. Um, the great Ganer Khan says, how much will a lawsuit cost for K1 50 DS 5535? So the price that we charge varies from case to case based on the type of help you need and the particular details of your case. We offer a free case evaluation with our team. So if you're interested in our help and you have questions and you want to consider this, make an appointment using a link in our bio. We can help you out. And then if that would be a good way for you to find out, and then we can give you a quote. Here's a question from VIP English RJ. My I-601 not unlawful presence waiver. So you have a fraud waiver, a criminal. It's hitting 24 months in April. The site says 22.5 months for 80%. Do you agree that I should certainly file for a writ of mandamus in April? Well, I think you should consider it. 2 years is a long time. If your I-601 waiver has been pending for 2 years, then I'm not confident that they're doing anything to help. Said Khan, I asked my question, but no response. Let me try to find your answer. I'm staring at my screen and I have to kind of try to find the question. So bear with me. Okay, here's your question. From London, I got a 221G refused on December 6, 2023. Didn't know my wife had to file a tax return in the US as she lives with me in the UK as teachers. I then provided all the documents on a DS on December 22nd, 2023. Wait time. So you're asking me to estimate the wait time. And the answer is that no one knows what the wait time will be. Most people who are in 221G for this sort of situation get a decision within 60 days. If you don't get a decision with 60 days, then I think you'll probably have to wait at least 6 months. And then at that point, if you still don't have a decision yet, you need to get in touch with us and we can help you. Um, keep the questions coming. Keep the questions coming. What questions do you have? Let me take some more questions. Um, any thoughts on when the F2A will become current again? From Mikey. Only a fool would try to predict what the visa bulletin is going to do. I hope it becomes current again soon. And I'm crossing my fingers every month that visa bulletin comes out. Tani T, I posted my question twice, no answer. Let me see if I can get this. Tani, here's Tani T. I have an I-130 from 2016 in the F3 category. It hasn't been approved yet. Why is that? Tani, let me know in the comments below. Do you know how to use the visa bulletin, how to read the visa bulletin? Let me know. Let me just take a look. I don't know what country you're from, Tani T. Let me know that in the comments below. But I'm looking, F3 are married sons and daughters of US citizens. And right now, in March 2023, all countries of chargeability, they're looking at cases from October of 2009. October of 2009. So I think you might have a long wait ahead of you, 7 years or more. I'm sorry to say. Mira Avili, 1777. How long for an I-601 waiver to be approved? I think you're looking at probably a year and a half minimum. Are you available to represent in Texas, Fort Worth for adjustment of status? Absolutely. Nana Poku. Yeah, contact us. We could help you out with that for sure. Let me know in the comments below what your questions are. Facts over lies. Is the U.S. border open or closed? I think you have been watching too much Fox News. The election is coming up, so everybody gets riled up about the border. Of course, the border is an issue, but it was terrible under Trump. He created the problem, and I don't think Jamaica. Sorry, Tony T. I know that my answer wasn't the one you were looking for, but I can't lie. I'm just telling you the truth. Hadar Ali question. I'm trying to find your question, Hadar. Here we go. Islamabad Embassy. I was asked by the visa officer to submit a China police certificate and passport through a courier, which I already did. My case is IR1. No admin processing was mentioned, just documents, wait time. It's impossible to say. All you can do is give them the documents they asked for. That's all you can do. I'm sorry that it takes so long. It's frustrating. The lawsuit is the way to go if you have been waiting for a really long time and you're frustrated. Here's someone called Adorable Videos for Your Day. I came on a K1 visa last year. I want to bring my daughter before the 1 year period. How do I do that? Your US citizen spouse could petition for your daughter as as his or her stepdaughter, or you as a green card holder could petition for your daughter. Either of those would work really well. Um, what is a success rate for a law firm? Um, every case that we file is one that we believe we can win, and most of our clients are successful. Um, we don't publish the statistics exactly because we think it could be misleading. But yeah, I mean, I expect to win all the cases that we file, and we often do. Let's see here.